I have in this box right here what was voted for on National Club Golfer as the most forgiving fairway wood of the last few years. Now this really did surprise me. I did not expect this club at all to feature in there. Like, think about it, this club has come above TaylorMade, it's come above Ping, Ping, come on, it's come above Callaway, Cobra, come above Mizuno, you name it. This club in here right now has been voted for as the most forgiving fairway wood of the last few years. So today, I'm gonna put it to the test. I'm gonna test it against my current fairway wood and let's see how it goes. Is it really forgiving? Right, so we'll see what it is. I brought some scissors so I can open this up, show you what this is. It is the Wilson Dynapower fairway wood. I have to say, I like this head cover. It's easy to pull it on, I guess, with this. Also, it's quite nice how it's sort of all black, logo on the top, Wilson bit here, and yes, this is the 3 wood, but you can obviously get it in. No, I was expecting it to have 5 wood. It doesn't. You can also get it in a 5 wood as well. Okay, so let's take it off. So this is a 3 wood at 15 degrees, and it is the Dynapower 3 wood. Now, when I expect a really forgiving fairway wood, I expect sort of like a really shallow profile. Like, that's quite a deep profile, isn't it? And what I mean by that is like this bottom edge to the top edge is really quite chunky. Now, you may have seen this fairway before, and when I knew this was coming, I've done some research, and I think there's some points what people have missed. So if you're thinking, I'm in the market, you want to know what you're buying and what technology each club's got, so we will cover that in this video too. But first, the unveiling. Oh, here we go. Here we go. There's nothing better feeling than that. Oh, tell you what I do love is this matte finish, sort of shiny Wilson bit here, these recesses, and it's got a 12-gram weight at the back. Now that's not a surprise. Like, if we're thinking forgiveness, brands tend to shove that weight as low and as far back as possible to get that. Okay, let's have a look at the top here. Again, a big fan of a matte crown and a slight bit of detailing around the back. Dynapower in the corner, you can see here, and then really interesting. I mentioned this before, but this depth of the face, usually like really sort of shallow face is what I would expect when I'm thinking forgiveness within a fairway wood. Now, let's show you the shaft that I've been sent to, just so you know that I've got a really nice shaft in this. We've sent as a hazardous smoke, 6.0, 60 gram mid spin. This is like a shaft that I would game, so it's going to be a fair test, isn't it? Like, what's your first thoughts of this fairway wood? What does it look like compared to yours? Is it something that you're like, wow, I love that matte black and the red, or you're like, nah, I ain't using that? Okay, without further ado, let's put it to the test and let's see what numbers we get. So I said this was voted and reviewed as the most forgiving fairway wood of the last few years, and this is what it says. The results of the tech is extremely forgiving fairway wood. I made sure to hit plenty of shots from a wide variety of face locations, and none of the shots were unplayable. Wilson have done a brilliant job in building a fairway wood that the players can actually use and rely on. Now, there are a few cons on here. It's not adjustable, okay? And it wasn't the longest. So let's see what this is like. The pros are classic shape, ball speed remained high on miss hits, plenty of spin to create the ball in the air, and it's a good price. So there's a lot more positives in this. So, and by the way, do you ever go on forums before buying a golf club? Right, okay, without further ado, let's hit some away. Now, with all these videos, I like to set a fairway. So come on, let's set one with me. So let's set a fairway. We've got the 150 on the right, and then we've got the box here on the left, just a little marker that is just into the right hand side of that. Okay, we've got our launch monitor. Let's get some numbers. Now, you know what? It's nice down at address. That matte finish is something that I really like. But again, I'm questioning the depth of that face. Now, for a fairway wood to be good, it's got to be good off the deck, it's got to be good off a little tee. So let's see what this flies like. It's also got to be long and easy to get in the air. Tell you what, that was high. That is dead straight, that. That is high and dead straight. Okay, let's hit a few more away. Give you an idea of distance here when that loads in. 235. 235, first one away. Let's hit some more for you though. By the way, how straight was that? That was seriously straight. Number 2, nice and high, nice and straight. That sounds very high pitched, you know. Very tinny. So that one there, blooming heck, that jumped up a bit. Look at this. 261. 261? I didn't expect that. Now, I've still got a few more shots to hit, and I want to sort of compare this to what my fairway wood is doing. Now, come here, listen to this. I don't like that noise. It sounds very high-pitched, very tinny in the hit. Right, here we go. Last one off the deck before we try some of the T-Peg. It's got to be good for both, hasn't it? I'm trying to work on my swing too. Wow, that has gone high. That has climbed. It's still going to have good distance, but that has climbed. Now, I know I'm saying that's high, but I want to put some sort of context to that. I want to hit some with mine. So that one there went 255. So we had a 231, we've had a 261, and now we just had a 255. I'm just going to hit a couple away for you now with my current fairway wood. Again, I'm not enjoying that sound. It's just not for me, that sound at all. It's high pitched. I like a duller, more solid sound. And feeling off the face, it feels quite firm. Now, this face, like we've seen this in quite a lot of brands this year and in last year, to be fair, it's got an AI face. So Dynapower AI, they call this. So essentially, there's been thousands of shots hit with this face in order to make it the most forgiving, in order to make it the most efficient ball speed all across the face. Whether you're hitting off the toe, off the heel, off the middle, you're not going to lose ball speed. And we've seen that in a lot of brands, and this is still in this club. And bear in mind, this is going to be at a fraction of the price of some of those big brands. Here we go. This is mine. So I got the Aerojet. The head cover's a bit dirty after I used it all last season, but this is 15 degrees as well, just to show you so you know. So 3 wood, 15 degrees, standard loft. Now, this offers adjustability. So in terms of like, if you're buying that Wilson, you're not going to be able to loft this up and loft this down. So this is one thing that people, I guess, is a bit of a downside of the Wilson. Most fairway woods now, you've got the adjustability. I can loft this down to 13.5 and loft this up to 16.5, depending on where I want to, well, where I'm playing, I guess, and what ball flight I want to see. Now, I'm just going to hit a couple away for you before we hit some of the Wilson off the T-Peg, just as a benchmark. So I was thinking that was going a little high. Okay, let's see what it's like. Let's get this lined up. We'll use the same fairway, and let's see where this goes. Here we go, mine off the deck. Look how much flatter that flight is. Oh, yeah. I just really enjoy the softer notes on this as you hit it. It sounds a lot duller, more solid, sound a bit tinny. Still good, bear in mind, but look at that, 271. And that's just because it gets a little bit more rollout because it's not as high for me. 271. I'm looking at this right now and thinking, I just don't even get rid of it. I know what it does, I trust it. It's an oldie but a goodie, isn't it? I mean, it's only last year's. I even think one of the fairway woods from this year will struggle to beat this. Okay, just look how much flatter this flight is again. That went 271. I reckon it can go a little further, you know. Middle of the fairway again. Look how much flatter that flight is, just fading off to the right side. It's just a flatter flight. 267. I just know what it does. But let's give this the benefit of the doubt. Let's now hit some away with the Wilson, but off a little T-Peg, because as much as I'm saying right now it's not as good as mine for a few factors, and I'm not fully made up my opinion yet, it still is a pretty good club, isn't it? Look at that, a little bit of genius. I managed to rip a T-Peg so I can fully test this on the deck, because I wanted to put this to the test on a little T-Peg for you. So we can pop that in the ground just like that, and we can hit some away off a little peg. Here we go, these are all off the T-Peg. Look how high that's just gone. Now with snow on it. I feared that was going to happen off that T-Peg. Come on, let's hit a couple more though. So that one there, 257, a little bit shorter again. Can you just see it? It's going like that a little bit rather than mine was like that. But if I was sort of picturing who this could be good for, I'd be thinking like someone with a slower swing speed, needs the ball to go in the air, go a little bit higher. Right, here we go. I mean, it's straight, isn't it? Look how high that is again. Can't argue about how straight this is, that's for sure. So, a few things that I'm questioning. Noise, not my cup of tea. Also, the flight goes a little bit high. So as a forgiving golf club, it's just not something that I could use. Also, like the adjustability. Now, I'm gonna park that to the side a little bit because of the price point. You often find that when you go something for a little cheaper, you don't get the adjustability. But they're things as a lower handicap player that I want when I go and play in the wind. I want to loft mine down. When I go and play somewhere it's a bit wet, I might want to loft it up. You know what? You get the drift. But let's just hit one away. Now, this doesn't mean to say like no one can use it, because someone can use this. It would be good for some golfers, and you might be thinking, you know what, that's straight up my alley. Going higher, it's spinning more. That might be what you want. Okay, right, here we go. Last one off the peg. Bit of flat of that one, but still just not for me. The sound and just not for me. Like I say, it's a very good looking club, but come here, Cobra. Don't you worry, don't you worry. I'm not getting rid of you yet. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe here to How Good Golf.